Hi everyone, it's Holly here at 34 Vampires and thank you for joining us again and viewing. So today we're on our way to Booth's Hall Marina. Sometimes it's also called Bridgewater Marina. So we've booked in for an engine service because the engine's up to 150 hours now. So we need to get that sorted, and also we found some pink coolant in the engine bay. We need to top up on diesel, we need gas, and we've got another issue too. So our fuel cap on the boat for the diesel is absolutely jam solid and makes no sense as to why it is, because obviously the last time that Blige closed it, it was just with the normal key. And so really been struggling to get it off. He's tried leaning over the stern because of course it's a difficult place where it is, you can't reach it properly from the bank. So leaning over the stern, so that he's got sort of body weight over, but really uncomfortable to do that and sort of like reach. So quite difficult, and you've got to have sort of like that weight above you so that you can bear down enough on it in order to be able to do it. And you just can't get an angle on it like that. So he literally even tried getting in the canal, because although it was winter, it wasn't sort of one of the coldest days, all the ice had gone and everything. Certainly braver than me. As it turned out, the threads had been painted, and so we think what potentially may have happened is a chemical reaction with the diesel fumes or diesel, because as you can see there's sort of like that white crust that's around there as well, and because the fuel tank's so big we hadn't actually sort of opened it very often, so we think that's probably what had gone on, that the paint had sort of corroded or reacted some way and actually jammed it shut. So obviously the diesel does our hot water and our radiators as well, and because of all the ice that we'd been having, it was really important that we topped up because we were getting quite low, and we needed to so that we can have the heating and hot water too. We'd arranged to be there at 11 o'clock, and David already explained to us where to put the boat. So we got there on time, moored up, and met Dave, who I have to say is a really, really accommodating and decent guy. He helped us with everything that we needed, and we actually even ended up staying there the night as well. So as you can see, there was a lovely little helper here too that just happily wandered about. Very, very sweet. I think her name's Mills or Millie, and yeah, she seems quite happy there. And so they got to work on servicing the engine. Dave started on that, and once that was done, one of his men that were working there as well got to set onto the diesel cap, and as you can see it got quite mangled. It was hammer and chisel and all sorts and took absolutely ages to get off. It was really, really stuck solid. So being as we were going to be there some time, Bly wanted to hand fill the water tank. The reason for this was we thought that the tank was 375, but in the manual it said it was 520. And obviously you want the tank calibrated correctly so that on your screen on the boat you can see exactly how much water you've got. And so just because there was time to fill, really, he thought it was a good time to do it, so filled it all up by hand as it was a lovely, beautiful sunny day. Dave actually said that about 15 people had asked him why our boat was called 34 Vampires, and that's obviously something that other people have asked us too. Our backstory is actually going to be in a magazine in I think it's about May time, so we'll keep you posted on that because there is quite an interesting story behind it all.
You do realise you could be home cooking dinner?
Dinner?
Yeah. And putting the sheets on the bed because it's like 7:30.
So we'd found the wood only about 50 yards away from the boat, and it was really, really warm on the boat when we got back. The fire was on, the radiators were on, and we were really warm before we even got back onto the boat. And so when we got back, we opened up the duck catch to kind of let some of the heat out and get a bit of sort of like cooling. And there was met with the most beautiful, beautiful sky. So in the photo that you'll see in a minute, it does actually look a lot brighter. It was actually quite dark outside, but when I took the photo, which I thought was just going to be less of a sort of silhouette, you know, with the sky not so bright, it was actually the case that the camera lit the sky up, so it looks like it was earlier evening, and as you can see, the moon was there. It was such a peaceful night. It was absolutely beautiful. And for me, those kind of times that we see things like that are just as beautiful as the swans as the sun setting. It's just everything is an experience. Few days later, I needed to go to Superdrug to pick up a few bits. So obviously, not being familiar with the area, I just sort of put into the sat nav and followed to the nearest one, and this is actually where I ended up. So this is Trafford Park or Trafford Centre in Manchester. Never seen anything like it other than when I was in Tunisia in a 5-star hotel. The place is so vast, it's absolutely massive. As well as all the shops, they've got everything there, from an indoor sea life centre where you can swim with sharks, roller skating. I think there was an indoor golf type place, a cinema. They had practically everything that you could think of. I got lost on the way out at one of the times that I went there, and actually took me about 20 minutes to get back to the car park. And what was really lovely as well is I hadn't seen my friend Ali, who lives in Manchester, for about 8 or 9 years, since she'd come and visited me back then in Pembrokeshire. So we were actually able to meet up for lunch as well, which made it all the better. As it was such a massive building, so much marble filled and everything, I decided to look up and see what it used to be. And apparently it was part of Trafford Park originally, which was one of the world's first planned industrial estates. So from the 1800s onwards, it was filled with factories, warehouses and heavy industry, especially after the opening of the Manchester Ship Canal in 1894. So before it was industrialised, the land formed part of the large private estate owned by the De Trafford family. In the late 19th century, much of the estate was sold for development when the shipping canal was built, transforming rural land into industrial land.